Well, we are all standing, so let's begin standing. Bring your toes together, and if there's like a little sliver of space in between your heels, that's cool. If that doesn't feel very stable, you can separate your feet a little bit apart. That's fine. And from there, just let your arms come down to your sides and your palms face forward. And from there, let your eyes close. Start to notice your breath. Each inhale and exhale. And throughout class, try to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose or the mouth, whichever is more comfortable. And as you're standing here, start to notice your spine. Try to find some alignment where you stack your knees over your feet, your hips over your feet. Start to lengthen up through your heart, your chest, the crown of your head. And if you want to set an intention for class, and an intention is not really a goal, it's not like a destination you're trying to reach, more so a manner of traveling throughout your class, something you want to keep in mind. Maybe there's something that you want to think of that inspires you. And then from here, slowly let your eyes begin to open. Take a nice deep inhale, reach your arms up for the ceiling. Really reach up and out. Interlace your fingers, release your palms up for the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, come up and over, the right to the left. And as you move from side to side, try to keep your shoulders in the same plane as your hips. So you're not collapsing over, you're trying to keep them nice and straight, heart is open. And then from here, inhale, come up to center. Bring your right arm down, lift your left arm up, come up and over to the right. And try to press through that left hip over to the side. Roll that left shoulder back, reach another breath, and then inhale, come all the way up to center, reach up with that right arm, down with the left, take a deep inhale, lengthen, exhale, come up and over to the left. Breathing here. So this time that right hip comes out to the side. Take another inhale, reach, exhale, come all the way up to center. And from here, release your hands down to the small of your back, and your fingers can point up or down, whichever is more comfortable. Squeeze your elbows together behind you. Lift your heart up towards the ceiling, and slowly begin to lift your chest up higher as you lean back. So press your hips forward and try not to collapse into your lower back so much as imagine that there's a string attached to your sternum, your breastbone. And as you begin to lay back, someone's pulling you up towards the ceiling. And then from here, come all the way back up to center. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down. Bend your knees as you come into a forward fold. And from there, take a little moment to do a little yoga dance, I like to say. So alternate bending your legs, shifting the weight around in your feet. You want to shake your head, no, yes. Do a little jiggy here. And then from there, we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Bring your hands to your shins and create a tabletop-like surface with your back. So you lengthen the spine forward, and then exhale, release it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. And from here, bend your knees as much as you need to get the backs of your hands down on the floor. From here, step your feet into the palms of your hands. So your knees can be really bent. And then from there, shift the weight of your feet into the balls of your hands. You can even play with picking your heels up. And on an inhale, lengthen your spine. On an exhale, let your elbows bend out to either sides. Bring your gaze down towards the floor and try to work the crown of your head down towards your feet. Take another inhale. Exhale, pull. And from there, release your hands. Plant your hands on the floor. Step it back with your right foot into a lunge. And then pause there for a moment. So from here, take a deep inhale, exhale, notice your hips. So the tendency is to let that right hip go way back. Try to pull it forward. Find a center where it's somewhat in the same plane right there. And then from there, inhale, bring your chest forward, your heart forward. And from there, release your knee down towards the mat. Untuck your toes. From here, inhale. You can bring your hands on top of your thigh and keep them there. Still focusing on opening up through your heart. Or you can inhale, reach your arms up, which is a little bit more intense, but make sure you're not dipping into that low back. You can make sure by making sure that that tailbone is pointed down, so you can make sure that you're not collapsing. Breathing here, take a deep inhale. Exhale, really lift up. And then from there, exhale, release your right hand down onto the inside of that left foot. Come up onto that ball of the right foot as well. And then from there, you're going to twist. So bring that left arm up. And again, notice your hips. So you want to kind of keep them in the same plane here. And then from there, exhale, release that left hand down. Step that left foot back, and you're in a push-up position. This is called plank. So the first vinyasa we're going to do, which is just a connection of movements, we're going to release the knees down. We're going to modify here. So untuck your toes. And from here, you're going to inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows. This is chaturanga. So you're keeping them in towards your body. Coming down first, knees, chest, chin, and then untuck. Inhale up for cobra. So from here for cobra, everybody come down. And then think about pressing your pubic bone down into the floor, pressing the tops of your feet down, and then lengthening your spine up. So you're not crunching in the back of the neck. You're keeping your neck as an extension of your spine. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, release. So we'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Try to come up a little higher. And then from there, exhale. Press it back, come onto your knees, and then all the way back into child's pose. So release your forehead down to the mat. And child's pose is an awesome place to come back to whenever you're tired, whenever you need a break, whenever you feel like you've lost control of your breath. And then from there, we're going to tuck your toes underneath you and press up into down dog. So for down dog, your body is like an upside down V. Your heels are pressing down, reaching for the floor, and you're really lifting your kneecaps up. So you really want to try and push that weight into the feet. And then from there, notice your hands. Spread your fingers out as wide as you can. And then imagine that the center of your hand, your palm, is more like a suction. So you're pressing down through your fingertips, your thumb, not just that ball of the thumb. And from here, take a deep inhale. Bring that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. So kick it up as high as you can. Try to kick through the heel and keep the hips even. Really kick it up, reach it up. And then from there, bend that knee. Reach the heel over towards the left and kick your knee up higher towards the ceiling. And then you're stacking your right hip on top of your left. Notice your shoulders. You want to try and keep them even in the same plane. You can look behind you over your left shoulder to try and find your foot, or you can keep your gaze down. From there, kick back all the way up towards the ceiling and release that foot down. From there, inhale, kick the left leg up. Really kick up through the heel, flex that foot, and try to keep your hips even at first, and then bend the knee. Bring the foot over towards the right, stack that left hip on top of the right, and maybe you look over your right shoulder for your heel. Maybe you keep your gaze down and really press back through that heel. Take another inhale, exhale, kick. And then from there, kick all the way back up to center. Let that foot float down. Come forward into plank. And from here, if you know you want to continue with that modified vinyasa, go ahead, release your knees down, repeat the vinyasa we did before. Or keeping your knees up, you're going to lower down chaturanga. So at first, maybe you come down a little bit. That's okay. Eventually, you want to be hovering, keeping your elbows bent at a 90-degree angle. And then from there, you're going to inhale, press up into up dog. So we're going to pause here for a moment because up dog can be dangerous if you're really collapsing into it. You want to look alive here. So bring your heart forward, press up and away from the mat, and really activate your legs. So the only things touching the floor are your hands and the tops of your feet. And then take an inhale, look all the way up. And since we're here, maybe you look to the right, to the left, stretch out your neck. And then from there, as you exhale, try to roll over your toes and press back into down dog. From here, take at least 2 deep breaths. So inhaling through the nose, and go ahead, sigh it out. Inhale. And sigh it out, exhale. Awesome. Bring your gaze forward and take a bunch of tiny little steps all the way to the top of the mat. And from here, you can have your knees slightly bent. If you have some low back issues, that's a good idea. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And from here, exhale, we're going to come separate your hands about shoulder width apart, your feet about hip width apart. We're going to come into chair, so Utkatasana. So notice your feet. You want to try and keep your toes pointed forward. And then from there, shift the weight back into your heels. So you can even take your toes up and wave at me. I like being waved at with toes. Hi. And then from there, point your tailbone down towards the floor. So you can kind of take your hands and feel with it if you'd like. And then from there, lift up through your heart. Bring your belly button in towards your spine. Sit a little bit deeper. Take another inhale. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Awesome. One more inhale. And exhale, just swan dive it forward, forward fold. Awesome. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. And exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Find a lunge here. So pause here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And notice your hips. So again, you want to try and even them out. So pull forward on that left one and back on the right hip. And then notice how we're all kind of rounded and collapsed. Try and squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Press your heart forward, lengthen here. And then from here, either staying here, or if you want to release that back leg down to the mat, bring your torso up. Take your hands on top of your thigh. And from here, you can stay here, or you can inhale, reach your arms up above you. Breathing here. So I like to give each of the postures in steps. So if you come to a part of this posture that doesn't feel good, or of any posture, backtrack a few steps. So you can always make each posture your own. Take another deep breath here, inhale. And then exhale, plant your left hand down. Come up onto the ball of that left foot. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling and twist. So the tendency here is to notice that bottom arm. A lot of us want to kind of roll it in. Try and lengthen through the heart, through the chest. So squeeze that left shoulder blade behind you. Take another inhale. Exhale, twist. And then from there, plant your right hand down, step it back, find plank. And from here, we're going to vinyasa, so chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, down dog or child's pose. So 2 deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhale. And from here, after that inhale and exhale, you're going to inhale, kick that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Try and kick through the heel. Keep that leg straight. And then from there, bend that knee, bring it in towards your nose. So try and curl the upper back and keep that foot up off the floor. Inhale, kick it all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it here, pause. And then from there, plant that right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. From here, we're going to come up into the crescent lunge. So you're going to stay on that back ball of the foot. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. So from here, if you have low back issues, bend that back knee. Point your tailbone down. Bring your torso back in space, and then work towards straightening out that back leg there. So it'll kind of take some of the pressure out of that back, the low back. From here, inhale, reach your arms up. Lift your heart up. Shift the weight into the ball of that left foot, even into the toes. Take another inhale. And from here, exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Take your left elbow, place it on top of your right thigh. And from here, we'll come into a twist. So use your hands here to press into that left arm, which will press into that right leg. Got a little visitor here. Say hello. He just wants to yoga, Mom. Dog yoga's the best. From here, take another inhale, exhale, twist. And then from there, release back up into crescent lunge. And then exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, find plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Then inhale, kick that left leg all the way up towards the ceiling, kick through the heel. Exhale, bend that knee, bring it in towards your nose, round in the upper back. Inhale, kick it all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it all the way up. And exhale, knee to nose. Pause here, hold it, squeeze it up and in. And then plant that left foot down. Find crescent on the opposite side. So if you notice balance was an issue, you can bring a little more space in between both of your feet. From there, inhale, reach your arms up. Bend that right leg, point your tailbone back, down towards the floor, and move your torso a little bit back in space, and then straighten out that right leg again. So notice too, you're not pressing back through that heel so much as you're pressing forward into the toes. Take a couple more breaths here, really lift up through the heart. Bring your shoulders down and away from your ears. Take another inhale, and exhale. Plant your hands. Oop, I forgot one part. Pause. I just tricked you guys. I'm testing you. From here, inhale right back up into crescent lunge. Bring your palms together, down to heart center. Take your right elbow on top of your left thigh. And in prayer position, you're really pressing against your hands here. So you press into that left thigh with your elbow. And you're using that to twist your torso. And eventually your prayer position will come back to your heart center. Take another inhale, exhale, twist. And then from there, inhale, come all the way back up into crescent. And now you're going to exhale into plank. Pressing back, stepping into plank. Pause here for a moment. So just kind of hold plank, breathe. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Press up and away from the floor. Take another inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then lower down chaturanga. Exhale, inhaling up for up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling. If you ever feel warm in class, you can always, I call it camel breath, where you go inhaling and then you, if that makes sense. Exactly. Like a motorboat noise. And then from here, inhale, exhale, bring your gaze forward. You can step all the way forward into a forward fold. Or jump if you know how to jump. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And from here, exhaling, we're going to come into eagle. So notice which arm is your right arm. You're going to swing your right arm underneath your left. Give yourself a big hug at first. And feel free to stay here, because everybody needs a big hug every once in a while. Or you can take the backs of your hands together, and then bring your right hand in towards your face. And try to wrap it into a fist or a prayer. If prayer is available to you, do that. And then from here, some people will teach you to squeeze your elbows down. We're going to lift them up. But as you're lifting up, try and keep your shoulders moving down and away from your ears. From here, sit down into chair. Shift the weight over to the left. Lift the right leg up and over the left. So from here, you got a bunch of options. Because as you've noticed, this is a balance posture. So you can use your toes on the outside of that left foot to help you balance here. Or you can work towards picking them up. Maybe you're wrapping the toes around that left calf. From there, try to sit down. And then notice how we all like to lean forward. Try to bring your shoulders back over your hips. Squeeze your belly button in towards your spine. Breathe here. We're going to go for a transition here. So bring that right leg up in towards you. And from here, you're going to work towards kicking it back out behind you. Balancing on that left leg. Try and keep that right hip moving down so it's even with the left. And then I'm kind of in the wrong spot on my mat, but we're going to go for this anyways, where you release that right foot back. And then from there, inhale, lift your arms up. Try to keep that lunge here. Take another inhale. And from there, exhale, release your arms. Interlace your fingers behind you. Lift up through your heart, stretch. And then exhale, fold forward onto the inside of that left thigh for humble warrior. Breathe here. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Separate the hands, reach it all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands. Step it back, find plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. From here, bring your gaze to the top of the step, or if you'd like to try jumping, what you're gonna do is find a spot about 5 or 6 inches in front of the center point in between your hands. Bend your knees, keep your gaze up there. Give it a little hop. Awesome. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And this time, we're going to bring that left arm underneath your right. So you're going to swing your left arm underneath your right arm. Give yourself a big hug. Backs of the palms come together. Left hand comes in towards your face and wraps around in a prayer or a fist. And always feel free to come back to this nice little hug. From here, sit down into your chair. Shift the weight over to the right foot this time. Left leg comes up and over. And you've got your same options. So helping to balance you on the floor. Working towards picking them up, working towards wrapping the toes around that calf. So notice that you're squeezing everything in towards your center line. The more you squeeze in, the easier it is to balance. Maybe you sit down a little bit further. And then from here, coming up, bringing that left leg up, and then slowly working towards swinging it out behind you. Try to bring it down even with that right hip. And really press back through the heel. Bring your elbows forward. Try to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. And then from there, plant that left foot behind you. Find your lunge. Inhale, bring the arms up and over your face. Breathe here. And then from here, exhale, release them. Interlace your fingers behind you. Try and do it the opposite way. So the opposite thumb on top. Inhale. Press the heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Exhale, humble warrior. Bow down on the inside of that right thigh. So just letting your head hang. And then from there, release the hands. Inhale, reach them all the way up, crescent. And exhale, plant the hands down. Find plank, step it back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Awesome job, everybody. Take another inhale and exhale. And from here, we're going to kick that right leg up. Exhale, swing it all the way forward. Find a lunge. And then from there, we're going to take that back foot and getting ready for warrior one, angle it out at about a 45-degree angle. If you know you've got a tight lower back, kind of step it over towards the left a little bit so you're not on such a tight rope. And then from there, inhale, come all the way up, find warrior one. So for warrior one, you want to work towards twisting so that your hips are both pointing forward. Inhaling, reaching your arms up, but keeping your shoulders away. And then bringing your belly button in towards your spine. So your abs, your core is very active here. Breathing. Maybe sitting a little deeper in that right leg. If you ever feel a pinch in the low back, though, kind of ease up there. Take another inhale. And exhale. And from here, we're going to windmill the arms out for warrior two. So the feet can stay where they are, or you can kind of fan that left foot out to more of a 90-degree angle. And from there, your arms are reaching forward and back. tendency is to let that back arm kind of fall. So chuck it out back there, bring it back up, and your gaze is eventually over your right fingertips. So as your hips twist towards the side of your mat now, this right leg is going to want to collapse inwards. Try not to let it. Imagine there's a laser pointing out from your kneecap. You want that to go exactly. I like the sound effects. And you want that to go right in between your second and your third toes. So breathing here. Really press down through that back foot. Take another inhale. And exhale, windmill the arms down. Press it back. Find plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Also keep in mind that as we move throughout class, if those chaturangas get a little too difficult, feel free to skip them. Come straight to down dog. Make sure that you're creating whatever you need out of your yoga class. And from here, inhale, kick that left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Finding warrior one. So again, you're switching that back foot down all the way onto the floor to about a 45-degree angle. Inhaling, reaching your arms up. Hips are both trying to point forward, bending into that left knee. And the more you point that back right foot towards the front of the mat, the easier it is to twist your hips. Take a couple more breaths here. Really press down through the outside of that right foot. Take another inhale, lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale, windmill your arms out. Find your warrior two. So now the hips are twisting towards the opposite side. That back leg is straight. Your left leg is the one that's really bent here. But notice that we all kind of like to roll onto the inside of that right leg, right foot. Try and press down on the outside of that right foot as well. If you're ever here with your arms out and you're quivering and your shoulders are up here, bring your palms together. Find a little ease, a little grace here, and then maybe extend right back out. Take a couple more breaths here. Maybe you sit it down a little bit further, but notice that that left knee doesn't collapse inwards. You still got the pew going in between your second and your third toes. Breathing. Inhale and exhale, windmill your arms down. Step it back. Find plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. From here, bring your gaze to the top of the mat. Step or jump all the way forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, come all the way up. And from here, keeping your hands about shoulder width apart, keep your toes together and come down into a chair. From here, make sure that your tailbone is pointed down, belly is in, heart is forward, shoulders are away from the ears. And when you look down, you want to be able to see your toes. So you're working towards moving back in space. Sit down a little deeper. Maybe a little deeper. And from here, bring your palms to your heart center. Sit down all the way. Coming all the way into boat pose. So from here for boat pose, you really want to lift up through your heart. You're creating this V shape. If you eventually want to work towards straightening out your legs, but as you're holding here, if you start to quiver, just bend your knees. Bring your heart a little bit forward. If you have a lot of a rounding spine here, you want to keep those knees bent. From here, maybe you extend your arms forward. Take another inhale. And from here, we're just going to lower down to low boat. So keep your feet hovering up, your shoulder blades hovering up. Breathe. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down onto your back. Bring your knees in towards you and just start to roll back and forth. And then from here, at the end of this, you're going to do something really fun. You're going to roll all the way back up into chair. So plant your feet, come all the way back up into chair. Try to do it without your hands at first. Look, Ma, no hands. Take another inhale once you're here. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step her back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, kick the right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swing it forward, find warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Go the other way. And from here, exhale, warrior two. We're gonna add onto it with reverse warrior. So you're gonna reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and that left arm, you can keep it on your back left leg, but try not to press a lot of weight into it. So if you're tempted to do that, take it behind your back and reach for that right hip. Inhale, lift up, get a nice stretch all along the right side body. And then exhale, bring your right elbow down on top of your right thigh. Lift your left arm up and over for side angle. So try and bring your heart up towards the ceiling. And then from there, maybe you release your right arm down towards the floor. Your fingertips can either touch or just barely graze the floor. And then maybe you take that left hand behind you, attempt to find a bind here. So if you are looking at me like I'm crazy, like there's no way I'm getting into a bind, just stay right here. If you'd like to try, you're gonna take your right arm underneath your right thigh and try and meet your hands together. So you can kind of hook with your fingers, interlace them, whatever works for you. Once you're here, try and bring that left shoulder back. Take another inhale. Exhale. And from here, release the hands. Inhale. Exhale, release that left hand down to the mat. Press that right leg back. Find plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, kick the left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward, find warrior one. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. And from here, inhale, reverse warrior. So that left arm is now reaching up, right arm reaches around for that left hip. Make sure that as you are reaching up and back, you're not losing that lunge in the left leg. Inhaling. And then exhale, bring your left elbow down to your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. So try not to collapse over into your left side. Really lift up and out of the right. Bringing your right hip back in space. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you release that left hand down. And your gaze can be up towards the ceiling, but if that hurts your neck, go ahead, just look down. From here, either staying here or working towards that bind by taking your right arm behind you. Maybe you just stay here. Maybe you take that left arm underneath your left thigh, and from there, squeeze your shoulder blades together and work towards rolling that left shoulder back. Take another few deep breaths here. On every exhale, try and twist a little more. And then from here, inhale, release the arms. Exhale, bring that right arm down. And down dog or child's pose. 2 deep breaths here at least. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And from here, separate the feet about the width of your mat. Walk your hands all the way back towards the back of the mat and come into a squat. So you're going to bring your hips all the way down. And from here, You're going to take the outsides of your arms along the insides of your legs. So if you want to angle your toes out a little bit, you're working towards bringing your feet completely down to the mat. If that's not available to you and you're kind of up on the balls of your feet, that's okay. Just keep in mind that that's the direction you're going in. Maybe play with it. You might fall back on your bum a few times, but that's okay. From there, press your heart forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Try to lengthen the spine. Take another inhale and exhale. From here, we're going to play with crow, which is an arm balance. If you've never done it before, you'll just try one side at a time. So you'll plant your hands just like you do in down dog. Try and spread your fingers as wide as you can. And then from there, bring your toes together and work towards bringing the knee just under the knee where your shin is onto the back of your tricep. So just do one side at a time if you've never done it before. If you have done it before, or maybe you are just naturally gifted in the crow department, then you'll work towards bringing the knees, both of them, towards the backs of your triceps. You want to try and get them up in towards your armpits. From there, maybe you pick up one foot, maybe you pick up both feet. A trick, do not look down, try to look forward. You're lifting your hips up. So from here, you're working towards eventually lifting your feet up completely. One day you'll straighten your arms out completely. And then the next day you'll press up in a handstand. I'm not quite there yet. I'll get back to you on that one. From there, once you're done playing with that, come down onto your knees, flip your hands upside down so the backs of your hands come down onto the floor, and then work towards leaning back. Stretch the wrists out a little bit. You can even work towards trying to make fists with your hands, kind of look like little monkey fists. Yoga teachers run out of jokes, by the way. From there, flip your hands again, but this time your fingers pointed towards you. And from there, work towards sitting back. Breathing. And then from there, point your fingertips forward, press back, down dog. From here, inhale, kick that right leg up. Exhale, bend your knee. Take your right knee towards your right tricep. Pause there, let that foot hover. Inhale, kick it all the way back up. This time we're going to twist, so as you exhale, take your right knee towards your left elbow. And then kick it all the way back up. And then exhale, knee towards your nose. Pause. Inhale, kick it all the way back up. Exhale, swing it all the way forward. Find warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale. From here, come back to warrior two. Press that right leg up, so you're completely straightening that right leg. And then from there, we're going to come into triangle. So you're going to reach your right arm forward as much as you can, and then windmill your arms. From here, bring most of the strength into your core. Activate this leg here, your right leg. Really lift up through the kneecap. And then from there, open up through your chest. So you're not pressing a lot of weight into your right hand. Breathe here. And then as you exhale, release that left hand down. Step that back foot up about a foot. Point your toes forward. And from here, we'll come into pyramid. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, just let the spine release down. Breathing. So pull back on that right hip, forward on the left. Take another inhale, exhale. And then from here, we're going to come into a twist. So take your left hand down, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and begin to look towards your right. As you do this, your hips are going to want to go all janky. So pull back on that right hip, pull forward on the left hip. Lengthen the spine, so bring your belly button in towards you. And then from there, that left shoulder wants to do that little twisty thing where it tucks under. Try and squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Inhaling, exhaling. From here, release that right hand down. From here, just turn both of your toes towards one side to a separate leg straddle here. And from here, just hang. So grab palms to elbows, sway from side to side. And then from here, maybe we'll bend one leg, come over to one side, and the opposite side, little Spider-Man stretch here. And then once you're done with your little yoga dance, we're going to take both hands over towards the right. Take your left hand onto your right ankle, and from there, take your right hand, weave it underneath your left arm, and try to grab at your calf, your thigh, your ankle, whatever's available. And then from there, you're going to work towards twisting your torso. So you'll pull that left elbow down towards the floor and use it as leverage to press your heart forward. Breathing. And then from there, slowly untwist. This time, you'll take both hands over towards the left leg. Keep your right hand there. Take your left hand underneath your right. Reach under there for your right calf, ankle. And then from there, pull against the right leg with your left arm. Twist. Breathing. And then from there, slowly release. And from here, bring your hands out in front of you. Left hand comes underneath your face. Right arm reaches all the way up towards the ceiling. Twist here. Try and notice your shoulders. So instead of rolling that left shoulder in, roll it back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Release. Take that right hand down. Left arm goes up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. From here, we are going to, I'm trying to think of how to best show the people at home this. So from here, you're in a separate leg straddle. You're going to twist over towards your right, keep twisting, and come to a seated position. So you've stacked your knees. So it's just a big old tornado here. Excellent. So if you've got really tight hips, you might be completely over onto one side. You're working towards sitting both of your hips down and stacking your knees. I run a little bit. My knees are not completely stacked. That's the direction you're going. The closer in your heels are towards you, the little bit more it pulls on the outside of your hips. But you want to kind of straighten your legs out to where your heels are both in the same place on the opposite side of your legs. From here, you'll either stay here, or again straightening out your spine, or you can take that left arm over you, reach around for the elbow, and then from there, bring that right arm behind you, work on grabbing opposite fingers. So if you've got a shirt on, you can grab your shirt and use that as leverage to kind of eventually pull towards your fingers. Breathing here. And from here, release. We're going to take our legs, and this time you're going to work towards stacking your ankle on top of that muscle right above your kneecap. And I'm not completely loosened up here, so my knee doesn't come all the way down to my ankle. If you're really loose, it will eventually fall down. But notice that it's not like you're letting your ankle completely collapse. You're keeping that foot flexed to protect your knee. Awesome. From here, take your hands on either side of your hips. Press your torso out, sit up nice and tall. And from here, as you exhale, maybe you walk your hands out in front of you. Pausing wherever you feel it most and just taking a few moments to breathe into it. So you keep hearing me say that, like breathe into a posture. But with every inhale, it allows you to lengthen, to create space. And with every exhale, you can work towards releasing into that space. So use your breath to help you in each posture. And from here, inhaling, coming all the way back up. And from here, we're just going to try and backtrack, so bring your knees back together. And then from there, you're going to twist over towards your left and unravel. It's a little bit of a brain teaser. In yoga, we work our body and our mind. And from here, you're going to twist over towards the left now and just keep twisting. Tornado to the opposite side. Awesome. You guys are like, she is so corny. Who invited her? From here, you're working towards sitting both of your hips down. Find that even place on both of your feet with both of your legs in a similar place on either side of your body. And from here, either sit here, stay here, breathe into this for a moment, or take your right arm up, bend at the elbow. You can take your opposite hand, pull that elbow down a little bit, and then take your left hand behind you. Reach up for those fingertips. Breathe here. And from here, it helps to use your head to kind of press back into that arm. Looking out towards the ceiling, breathing. And then from here, release. So flex your feet. Take that left ankle on top of that right knee. So it's not your knee, it's that muscle right above your knee. And then both feet flexed, just to protect your knee again. And from here, take your hands on either side of your hips. Inhale. And either staying here or exhaling, walking your hands forward. Pausing wherever you feel it most, wherever you feel like you need to send a little extra breath to. And then from here, walking your hands back up and in, trying to backtrack. So again, a little brain test. So you stack your knees again, come back over towards the left, and untwist. Awesome job, we all did it. We made it. And from here, we're gonna twist over towards the left, and we're just gonna backtrack. So we started out in that twisted triangle. So from here, we'll start in pyramid. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let the body fold over that left leg. And then from here, keeping your right hand down, inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the left arm up. So notice your shoulders. You're not letting that right shoulder, the bottom shoulder turn in. You're keeping it open so you can keep your heart open. Breathing, press back into that left foot as well. And then from there, exhale, release. And from here, we're gonna twist over towards the right, but as you twist over, let's come back up into triangle because you wanna make sure you can get that length. So really reach forward with that left arm and then come right back down. So triangle, opposite side. Awesome. And a lot of us here, we wanna kind of let that right hip come over. Try not to let that happen. Peel that left leg, left hip back away from the, right hip back away from the left. Breathing. And then from there, inhale, let that right arm pull you all the way back up. Find a bend in that left knee. And from here, reverse the warrior. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And then exhale, find warrior one. We're gonna swing that right arm. I'm getting excited here. This is your right arm. Back into warrior one. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, float the hands down to the mat. Press it back. Find plank. Inhaling. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Inhale, kick that left leg up. Bend the knee, bring it in towards your left elbow. And then inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, twist it over towards the right elbow. Inhale, bring it all the way up. And then exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring it all the way up. And from here, bend that knee. Take the heel over towards the right. Same move we did earlier, but notice if you're a little more open in the hips. Really press back through that right heel. If you'd like to give it a try, you can flip your dog. What that means is that you're going to let that foot find the floor behind you. And from there, inhale, lift the left arm up and over. Really press up through the hips. If you'd like to, you can try and just flip completely into wheel. Plant both hands and feet down onto the mat. There you go. And then from there, work towards flipping back. We're going to lift that left arm up, planting it down. From here, we're going to flip all the way over into side plank, Vashisthasana. So come all the way onto that left arm. You're going to flex both of your feet, stack them, lift that right arm up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Maybe you lift one leg up towards the ceiling. It would be your top leg. And then from there, exhale, release the right hand down, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Nicely done. 2 deep breaths. And then from there, inhale, lift that right leg up. And then from there, stack the right hip over the left, bend that right knee, look over your left shoulder. Really try and kick that heel as well as the knee all the way up towards the ceiling, so it's straight up towards the ceiling as you can. And then maybe you're a little more open, you want to try and flip your dog. So bring that right foot behind you onto the floor, reach your right arm up, and from there maybe you flip it all the way. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Eventually we'll all be walking across the room like this. It'll be awesome. And then from there, working towards flipping all the way back and over. So you'll plant your right hand down and twist all the way back into Vashisthasana, side plank. So notice in side plank, you don't want to let yourself collapse. So really lift up through the hips. You want to make sure that that right hand is stacked completely under your right shoulder, left shoulder, and then your left arm. Flex both of your feet. Maybe you lift that left leg up. Breathing. And then from there, release your left hand down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Go ahead, come down into child's pose. You've got tight hips. Separate your knees all the way out. Keep your feet together. Forehead releases down to the mat. Nicely done. Take a few deep breaths. If you've got a tight low back, you can always bring your knees together behind you. And from here, come up onto all fours. I'm going to take a couple cat-cows here. From here, for cow, because this looks like a cow, you're going to tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Lift your gaze up, press your heart forward, and create a U shape with your spine. Inhale. And then, exactly, sound effects welcome. Moo. And then exhale, come into cat. So really arching your spine up like an angry Halloween cat. Inhale, coming into cow. And exhale into cat. One more round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And from here, come to a neutral spine. We're just going to cross our legs behind us, roll back, come into a forward fold, seated. So from here, flex your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your 2 peace fingers wrapped around your big toes. From here, take a deep inhale and try to keep a straight spine. So a lot of us, as we begin to pull on these toes, we like to round so that we can try and get our head as close to our toes as we can. Try to resist that urge. So from here, imagine that you're reaching your heart for your toes. Breathe. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, pull. And from there, release. Bring your left knee out to the side, left foot on the inside of that right leg. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, reach them forward. Interlace your fingers behind that foot. Maybe that right leg is bent. So a lot of us, whenever we feel like we're not flexible, you get here and you're like, I can't get to my toes. I'm just going to stay here. bend your knee. Get the grip, straighten your spine, and then work towards kicking out through your heel to eventually straighten out that leg. Breathing. And then from here, release. Inhale, reach your arms up. Switch your legs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward, interlace your fingers. Reach through that heel. So remember, bend that left knee, get the grip, and then work towards kicking out through the heel. Breathing. And then from there, inhale, reach your arms up, kick your legs out in front of you, wiggle your butt forward so that your feet are at the top of the mat. This is a very technical move right here. And then from here, exactly. From here, bring your arms out in front of you and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, come all the way down onto your back. And then release all the way down. From here, we're going to come into bridge. If you've never done bridge before, once you get into it, you don't want to look from side to side, so feel free to stop and kind of check out what everyone's doing. First, you're going to bend your knees, bring your heels in towards your butt, so you can kind of graze your heels with your fingertips. From there, press your hips up towards the ceiling, and once you get to the point where you feel like you can shimmy your shoulders underneath you, do so. From there, interlace your fingers behind you, and make sure that you're squeezing your knees together. So from here, notice if your butt is clenched. Try and press up using your leg strength, not your butt strength. And once you feel that compression in the throat, don't look from side to side, just to protect your neck. Take another inhale, exhale. You can stay here, or you can take your hands to your low back and kind of support yourself here. Maybe you kick up with the right leg or the left leg. Maybe you play with kicking both legs up, using your elbows to support you. Once you're done playing there, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, you're going to untuck your shoulders and roll all the way out. And from here, our last back bend is going to be a wheel. If you don't feel comfortable doing wheel, you can always just repeat bridge. So for wheel, you're going to press your hips up just like in bridge, and then place your palms down just above your shoulders on either side of your head. And then from there, you're going to press first up onto your head. You can pause there, and then press all the way up, trying to really press your chest forward. Eventually, maybe straightening out your legs, maybe bending one knee at a time and kicking it up towards the ceiling. But wherever you are, try and stay there for 5 breaths. 2 is good too. And from there, when you're ready to come down, slowly tuck your chin in towards your chest. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. And from here, bring your knees in towards you. Rock from side to side. From here, bend your knees, reach around for the bottoms of your feet from the outside. So we're going to come into happy baby, or as I like to call it, honey, I'm home. And from there, you can kind of rock from side to side. Maybe you straighten one leg at a time. And then coming back to center, really squeezing your knees down on either side of you. And from here, release. Bring both legs down, and then bend that right knee, interlace your fingers over the shin, and pull the knee in towards you. So you want to feel a slight pinch in the hip, nothing painful, just a little compression there. Try and keep both of your shoulders down. And then from there, loosen that grip. You're going to take your left hand, guide your right knee over towards the left, extend your right arm out, come into a spinal twist, bringing your gaze to the right. This should feel nice and good and juicy. juicy. Exactly. And then from there, slowly come back to center. Release that right leg. Bring your left knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers over the shin. Really squeeze it in. And then from there, loosen that grip. Take your right hand, guide your left knee over towards the right. Cross your body. And then from there, lengthen the left arm out. Bring your gaze to the left. Try and keep your left shoulder down on the mat as you twist. And then from here, slowly come back to center. Bring both of your knees in towards your body. Give them a big hug. Bring your head up in between your legs. Really squeeze everything in. Squeeze it tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release. Kick your legs out. Bring your arms down on either side of your body. Palms face up. And from here, we'll come into our final Savasana. So breathing. And letting your eyes close. So using this opportunity to deepen your breath. You just worked your body, nice and tough. You all worked very hard. Awesome job. So now's the time to kind of check in, to feel your body melt into the mat, to find a sense of calm. I'm going to come around and do a couple adjustments. If you don't want that, just turn one of your hands down towards the mat. Slowly begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers, inviting movement back into your body. Whenever you're ready, slowly beginning to roll over onto your right side, the side that signifies new beginnings. And then from there, slowly, whenever you're ready, trying to keep your eyes closed and come into a seated position that's comfortable for your body. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for letting me be a part of your practice, a part of your journey, a part of your weekend, your day, your month, your year, everything. Thank you so much. In yoga we say namaste, which means the light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. There is a little area outside, a little bowl to donate if you'd like to give something back. If not, you've already given plenty, so no worries. But thank you all so much. And if you are at home as well, you can donate on the button below on the page. Thank you all very much. This is a button pressing.